This is the Toddler service for St Mary's Church, in Jersey and the Channel Islands. And we're back in my kitchen. Last week we were actually in church. We did what was both a toddler's service but also crib service, which we have every year. And we were in the church building. And if you watched that service, we sang Jingle Bells. And we sang a version with verses that I'd written. So those are copyright free. And Jingle Bells is very old and very traditional. And that's also copyright free. So should you want to use that version of Jingle Bells next year in your own church, that's fine, because it's copyright free. And let's hope, as today is New Year's Eve, that next year you will all be back in your own place of worship. So I'm going to start singing, and we're going to sing a song called If I Go Climbing with actions, and then there'll be a story and some prayers. So I hope you and your little ones will join in. And it's If I Go Climbing, and there's actions to it.
Let's go climbing up a huge mountain.
If I go climbing, 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 if I go climbing, God is there. If I go climbing on the highest mountain, God is there, 'cause He is everywhere.
Now let's get into our boats and go for a row.
In a boat.
If I go rowing, 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 if I go rowing, God is there. If I go rowing on the widest river, God is there, 'cause He is everywhere.
Let's go swimming right to the bottom of the ocean.
If I go swimming, 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 if I go swimming, God is there. If I go swimming to the bottom of the ocean, God is there, 'cause He is everywhere.
Can you get into your car, put on your seatbelt, ready to go for a drive?
Steering wheel.
If I go driving, 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 if I go driving, God is there. If I go driving far away, God is there, 'cause He is everywhere.
Now we're going flying on an aeroplane.
Fly an aeroplane.
If I go flying, 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 if I go flying, God is there. If I go flying on the biggest airplane, God is there, 'cause He is everywhere.
Can you curl up on the floor
Go to sleep.
and go to sleep?
If I go sleeping, 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 if I go sleeping, God is there. If I go sleeping on the darkest night, God is there, 'cause He is everywhere.
I'm going to sing a little rhyme, Two Little Eyes. You can join in with this one if you know it. Two little eyes to look to God, two little ears to hear His word, two little feet to walk in His ways, two little lips to sing His praise, two little hands to do His will, and one little heart to love Him still. Now there's another song you can join in. We're going to sing to the music. Jesus is my best friend. And there's actions like this.
Jesus is my best friend, my best friend, my best friend. Jesus is my best friend. He's always there for me. Jesus is my best friend, my best friend, my best friend. Jesus is
we're going to sing the dinosaur song. We're going to sing along to the music. All about the dinosaurs. And we're going to stomp and roar. Stomp, stomp and roar. Roar, roar, roar. Roar, 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 roar.
Many, many years ago, walking on the earth with supermassive animals with teeth and claws and fur. And some could swim and fly and crawl, but way more radical is that God who made them is an arm greater than them all. God is bigger than a dinosaur, taller than a dinosaur, stronger than a dinosaur.
Roar, roar, roar.
God is older than a dinosaur, more mighty than a dinosaur, more awesome than a dinosaur.
Roar, roar, roar. Roar, roar, roar.
So was Tyrannosaurus Rex, king above the rest? And how did Stegosaurus bob for the Diplodocus lay eggs? Only God could know it all. The way more radical is that he could bring them back to life. Now wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't it? God is bigger than a dinosaur, taller than a dinosaur, stronger than a dinosaur.
Roar, roar, roar.
God is older than a dinosaur, more mighty than a dinosaur, more awesome than a dinosaur.
Roar, roar, roar.
God's the fossil, he's not extinct, he's with us here and now. And forever he'll be alive, let's roar his praises now.
Roar, roar, roar.
God is bigger than a dinosaur, taller than a dinosaur, stronger than a dinosaur.
Roar, roar, roar.
God is older than a dinosaur, more mighty than a dinosaur, more awesome than a dinosaur.
Roar, roar, roar. Roar, roar. Stomp, stomp. Roar, roar, roar. Roar, 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 roar. The dinosaurs go off into the distance. Going to sing the song about Mr. Noah. Mr. Noah built the ark because God told him to. All the animals went in to the ark with Mr. Noah to be safe. Mr. Noah built an ark. The people thought it such a lark. Mr. Noah pleaded so, but into the ark they would not go. Down came the rain in torrents, splish splash. Down came the rain in torrents, splish splash. Down came the rain in torrents. All the 8 were saved. The animals went in 2 by 2. The big giraffe and the kangaroo all were safely stowed away until that great and terrible day when down came the rain in torrents, splish splash. Down came the rain in torrents, splish splash. Down came the rain in torrents, and all the 8 were saved. So whenever you see a rainbow, whenever you see a rainbow, whenever you see a rainbow, remember God is love. Now we've got another song to sing along to. I'm going to stand up for this one. It's the wiggle song. So we get rid of all our energy. And it's Wiggle, 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 and then we freeze when they tell us to on this song. Wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, 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 freeze. Wiggle, 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 freeze. I said I gotta get the wiggles out of me. I'm gonna shake my hands, I'm gonna shake my feet, I'm gonna shake my head, I'm gonna move to the beat, 'cause I gotta get the wiggles out of me. I said I gotta get the wiggles out of me. Wiggle, 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 freeze. Wiggle, 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 freeze. I said I gotta get the wiggles out of me. Skiddly scat, skiddly dee. I gotta get those wiggles out of me. 'Cause I wanna hear the story. It's gonna be fun. Here and now, Jesus is for everyone. So I gotta get those wiggles out of me. Wiggle, 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 freeze. Wiggle, 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 freeze. I said I gotta get the wiggles out of me. I said I gotta get those wiggles out of me. I said I gotta get those wiggles out of me. Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Take it down and breathe.
And I've got some prayers to read. Two books I've got. And the first one does actually mention Christmas, because it's not so very long since Christmas, and it also mentions gifts, presents, because today's story is about people who took some presents to Jesus. Christmas Day was full of surprises, bows, boxes, all shapes and sizes. We are grateful to you, God, for food, gifts and play, but we won't forget that it was Jesus' birthday. Thank you for sending us Jesus. Amen. There's another one here. It says, "Oh God, may today be a good day. May I think of something good. May I say something good to somebody. May I learn something good. May I make something good. May I do something good for somebody else. Please, God, may today be a good day. Amen." And I'm going to say the little rhyme that I always say before I tell the story, because the stories come out of the Bible, and this talks about the Bible. Now is the time to listen. Now is the time to see. We open God's book to hear what He has to tell me. Today's story starts with a star. There's the star. The star that rose in the east and was seen by 3 wise men. In fact, the Bible doesn't tell us it was 3. It just says wise men from the east. And they saw this star in the sky. They're the 3 wise men. We don't know. They might have been kings. People think they might have been kings because they brought some very, very special, expensive gifts with them. They'd seen the star in the sky and they knew that a star like that meant that a new king had been born. So they set out to follow the star. And it took them to the land of Judea. So they went to the capital city of Jerusalem, to ask where this new baby king had been born, because they knew that if a star like that appeared in the sky, a new king was born. And they asked where the baby was born, and then from Jerusalem they followed the star and it went to the town of Bethlehem. So here's the star moving and the keepers are following the star. And they came to the house where Mary and Joseph and Jesus were living. There's Jesus. He'd grown up. Last week's story, he was a tiny baby. He'd only just been born, but by now he'd got to be a bigger boy, a bigger little baby. Maybe he was toddling just a little bit, holding onto his mummy's skirts. Maybe he was crawling. We don't know. But by now the family were living in a house. They weren't in a stable anymore. And the star moved and moved and moved right over to the house, to above the house where Jesus was. So there's the star, there's Jesus and Mary and Joseph. And they're in the house, and the wise men come visiting. They were very pleased to see Jesus, and they knelt down and they had some gifts for him, some presents they brought with them. And it tells us in the Bible about these gifts. I think perhaps they'd wrap the gifts up carefully, not with wrapping paper, but with cloths to keep them safe, because the wise men had come a long, long way across deserts, maybe even on camels. So the gifts had to be kept safe. And then the wise men unwrapped the gifts for the baby. And it tells us in the Bible what these gifts were. And the first one that's mentioned is gold. Look, here in the casket, in the chest, there's some gold. Gold, a gift for a king. And then the next one that gets mentioned, they unwrap the gift. It's some expensive perfume called frankincense. Gold and frankincense, very expensive gifts. And then the next one that gets mentioned is called myrrh. Now myrrh was a gummy thing, and it was very, very expensive. A gum, a mass of gum, and they had it in a box. So we had gold and frankincense and the myrrh. 3 expensive gifts that the 3 wise men brought for the baby Jesus. I expect Mary was very surprised. These expensive gifts, but they would be useful, wouldn't they? They'd be able to sell those for money to live maybe later on in the story. And that's the story about how the wise men brought gifts for baby Jesus. And we often give gifts at Christmas, and some people think that the tradition, the way to do it, is because we have the story in the Bible about the wise men bringing gifts to baby Jesus, to little boy Jesus. Well, that's the end of this week's song. Going to put the keys back up there. And there are 3 gifts. The gold, the frankincense, and the myrrh. Now I'm going to sing another song. I'm going to sing the song about My God is so big. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing that he cannot do. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing that he cannot do. Tap, tap. The rivers are his, the mountains are his, the stars are his handiwork too. Tap, tap. My God is so big, so strong and so mighty, there's nothing that he cannot do. Tap, tap. And now we're going to sing the last song, and you can join in with this if you have something to rattle or shake. I've got something to rattle. It's called What Noise Shall We Make?
What noise shall we make to say that God is great? What noise shall we make unto the Lord? Let's make a loud noise to say that God is great. Let's make a loud noise unto the Lord. Here is my loud noise. Here is my loud noise. Here is my loud noise unto the Lord. What noise shall we make to say that God is great? What noise shall we make unto the Lord? Let's make a quiet noise to say that God is great. Let's make a quiet noise unto the Lord. Here is my quiet noise. Here is my quiet noise. Here is my quiet noise unto the Lord. What noise shall we make to say that God is great? What noise shall we make unto the Lord? Let's make a fast noise to say that God is great. Let's make a fast noise unto the Lord. Here is my fast noise. Here is my fast noise. Here is my fast noise unto the Lord. What noise shall we make to say that God is great? What noise shall we make unto the Lord? Let's make a slow noise to say that God is great. Let's make a slow noise unto the Lord. Here is my slow noise. Here is my slow noise. Here is my slow noise unto the Lord.
Dance to the music. That's the end of this week's service for New Year's Eve. It's 2020. And by the time I see you next week, it'll be 2021. So we ask God, please look after us all through next year. See you next week. Bye-bye.